friend.
Okay, everybody ready?
Phil, there's no sound up there on that one.
Just coming out.
Tonight we're going to tie the bad hair day. And Bill will have to tell me what the man's name is. His name, what's his last name?
Dave Pinczkowski.
Dave Pinczkowski's fly. We found this all during COVID. We watched that and we had when we were doing our first Zoom sessions, and Tyler Wood, when it used to be here, introduced us to it, and I started fishing it, and in the past 4 years, I think we've caught probably 8 or 9 different species on it. And it's not that hard to tie. If you never tie with craft fur, it's a little challenge at first. First off, it'll be everywhere by the time you get through. And for y'all's know, it comes in a sheet. I don't have one. Jeff's got one. Here, Jeff. Just give me the whole pack.
Yeah. You can make it?
Yeah, I'll make it. And it looks like, that's what it looks like, okay?
You can pet in the back, caution can be a little.
And it's a long,
It covers those bald spots.
yeah, it's a long artificial whatever hair. Now, look, this, for people, for anybody that's gonna tie with it, they got it Hobby Lobby, but don't get it. It's too short. It's very short. This stuff is long enough to do everything with. And it's that extra select craft fur.
So where do you get it?
Any place got it. Dakota Fly, any of those places have it.
From a fly shop?
Yeah, any fly shop, yeah, they have it. And it's extra select craft fur.
Any color you want, or is it?
They pretty, yeah, they got a lot of colors. I mean, but they ain't but 2 colors, and it's those 2 right there, chartreuse and white. I mean, you know, but if you see in this thing, I've got, this one is pink and chartreuse. It works. I mean, it does. And I do a lot of simulation with trying to tie it to look like flukes, and that's a gray fur and white. And I caught it, well, I lost a big choupique on that the other day, so I guess it works. Okay, so you should have a hook. I had a hook. And you put it in a vise, and white thread will work, or you don't have me know them silver hooks. That one just walked off from here. That's good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and white thread is what I use on it. I mean, you can use whatever color you want to because it's not going to be visible. Okay, and I start behind the eye, and I just wrap it all the way back to the hook point, and just let it drop right there. And another tip on craft fur: if you're cutting it in the block, the squares like you have, don't use your fly tying scissors. Because I mean, you can use what we're fixing to do it with, but it will dull them. So that's why I got a pair of just regular old Walmart Pinczkowski scissors where they are, and it cuts it nicely.
Okay, if you haven't tied with Walmart Pinczkowskis like this, they are fine fly tying scissors for $9.95.
These are the advantage of using these on craft fur blocks is you can slide it through and part it like you're parting hair, and then you can make one long cut through with it. So take one of those white clumps. Can y'all see me because I get my hands out of the way? Take one of those white clumps. You notice it's on the bottom. Kind of pinch it together.
Go down.
Go down. Down. We good?
We leave the thread at the point of the hook?
Yeah, leave the thread at the point of the hook. Take a clump of that craft fur and pinch it down right at the base where that.
The entire square you gave us?
Yeah, one of those squares. And then take your scissors and cut that square off. And it's going to leave you with something that looks like that. And just hold on to it tight after you cut it off there. Okay? Come back about a quarter or half inch behind that clump. See how it's popped up like that on here? Where I got my fingers pinched, make a couple loose wraps. And you're still right at the point of the hook. And then slowly cinch it down and make a couple more wraps. And Mike didn't ask me, but I'll tell you, I use the whole length for the tail. Okay, so I'm not cutting any short. I'm using the whole length of the thing.
It goes on top.
Yeah, well, when you put it on there, you can make it, if you want to, you can kind of, when you tighten it down, you can make it go around. And it generally does anyway. Good question, Ed. Now, when you get that secured, take your scissors and cut all this fuzzy stuff off front. Being careful not to, all that fuzzy stuff sticking up, cut that clump off. And don't cut your thread. You don't have to get all of it off, but get the majority of it off. It don't have to be, like a flat top or nothing. And then take your thread and tighten it down on that and see what happens. I broke my thread.
So we go all the way to the front of the...
No, just get right back here. See? I'm right there. You're still over the hook point when you finish. It don't matter if you got a little fuzzy out from it. I mean, it's real easy to tie. I mean, when you go through the first time, you won't have any issues after that.
But this point, the thread is aligned with the hook, right?
Yeah. Everybody good? All right. Take another clump of this white and do the same thing again, cutting it, not on the fly itself. All right. So you got another clump. Okay, so I'm gonna look right there. I need to look over here. I can know where it's at. Okay. And do the same thing and get the stuff off her. Now this one, watch carefully. What we're going to do is we're going to reverse this. Okay? We're not going to put it on like this. We're going to turn it around and put this forward. Okay? And you got that big clump of junk right there? You got that big clump we cut off before? Come back about a quarter inch and start wrapping right there. Put it up to where you're, see where my tail is? Just move it right up there and come back about a quarter inch or half inch and come back and wrap it 2 or 3 times and stop. It should look just like that.
Tied in at the hook point?
No, yeah, bro, in front, no, where your last one, where you wrap the last one down right in front of it.
Leave all the under fur or take some of the
No,
under fur out?
I leave it on.
Okay.
And you'll see why in a second. You got an option to cut it off, Peter, but I leave it on there.
So that's still almost at the hook point, huh?
Yeah, it's forward of it. See where my wrap is crossed? See, there's the hook point and there's the wrap.
Okay.
Now you got 2 loose wraps in there, or 3. You got to take your finger or your thumb on top of it and kind of just work it so it goes around the whole thing. And when you do that, put another one and tighten it down and hold it. And here's where we're going to lose it on the camera. This is called reverse tying. Now, we're gonna reverse this hair. I mean, there's a million ways to do it. You can sit there and do what I'm doing right now and just push it all back.
Do you trim the clump off the hook shank?
Sir?
Do you trim the clump off the hook shank?
No, leave it on.
Like a mustache.
So you just turn it back, just see what I did? When I flipped it, everybody see that? Just roll it, just push it all back. If you want to, I got one of these, you can put it on there and push it all back like that.
If some of it goes to the bottom, it does.
Right, yeah, you kind of thumb it around there. And you see it looks like a mess. It's supposed to look like a mess. Now, everybody got it reversed?
I got it, but don't wrap it.
Don't do nothing now, just got it reversed. You got your thread hanging. You got to pull your thread forward out of there and wrap right in front of it. Don't try to wrap and hold down the hair. Okay, because I'm gonna explain that to you. Okay, just make some wraps so you got it out in front like that. When you do this stuff on this bulkhead tie on this reverse, if you go up and start wrapping over the hair like, up here or something, trying to hold it down, that's not what you want to do. But as you go in front of it and wrap it like this, you keep wrapping back toward the hair, but never getting up on it, you're actually forming a dam. And it pushes that base of that hair down to where it's not sticking out everywhere. Good, Peter?
Excellent, thank you.
Okay. Everybody good? That was good, Pete. I mean, Chris. Pete. I call you Pete.
Well, I'm related to Pete.
Okay. Everybody there? Jeff? You good? And you just keep, now what, a safety note on here. You know how you always try to stroke it back like this? If that's the case, move your hook back into your vise where the barb's not sticking out. Because it will bite you. Believe me. Okay, you should have another clump of white.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do the same thing again.
It's getting nice.
It does. We're going to save it, Rich. You're not going to have to whip fence. Okay, do the same thing again. Now, if you try to get it around the thing and try to make it even, you can actually push it over your hook shank and do it. I prefer not to do that because I always end up losing about half of it. So bring you the big clumpy part all the way back to where you just did the flip, and then take another couple loose wraps, and you can take your thumb and work it around and then tighten it down. And see what I'm doing here, where I'm kind of fluffing it around in a circle. You can do that and just push it back. Now if you got a big pin, or what's them things Rich has got back there? He's got some. You can take it, and push it over to get it back. But
It comes off dog food bags. I'm sorry. Dog food bags.
and then do the same thing. Make you a little thread dam in front of it and hold it there.
I need you to back up a step.
Same thing we just did.
Back tie it again?
Yeah, we do the exact same thing we just did. I'm sorry, Carl. I thought you caught up with me.
So you gotta trim that.
No, don't trim it that time either. Don't trim it.
Everything's sticking out.
That's because I've been sitting here doing this, bud. I've been sitting here. Yeah, you gotta reverse it. Yeah, it's the only tie that you're doing with a clump going straight back is the first one for the tail. The rest of them are reversed. Need some help, Robert? You need another white clump?
Obviously, you push everything too far back. See, I have all these.
Just stroke it back, Jim. Here, push it back a bit. Somebody need this? Feel good, Peter? Feel good?
That's great.
Let me know when everybody's got, see Jeff, it looks like a bad hair day.
Yeah. Guy on
I tell you how you can make it look better when we get through.
the guy on the internet plinks the end.
Yeah, well, you probably can't do that with that, but I can do it. I can do it with this one.
It
See?
just looks wild.
That's what
Funky.
he's thinking, what he's
Oh,
doing.
it calls it funky.
Why he's doing that is because he puts flash in every section.
Yeah.
And we aren't doing it tonight, we just put it in one. But when you do that thumping, it mixes it in there, and then he sits there and plays with it the whole time doing all this, and next thing you know, you got hair everywhere.
Since he developed it.
That's right, he can. All I know is catch his fish. Everybody gets through that second one, let me know.
So each time you add a layout, you're moving it forward, is that right?
Yes, sir. So you should have room enough for one more time on there.
Huh?
And this will be green.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put flash in there first.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that. When you come around about 5 minutes ago.
Did he have it backwards? All right, what you should have now is you should have some crystal flash, okay? I don't even know how many pieces I got here.
How many do we need?
Many as you want to put, you can put one, you can put two, you can put four. I mean, it really is up to you. And this, and fishing these things for, we call it bass, like I said, bass, speckled, bass, largemouth, smallmouth, choupique, pickerel, hybrid stripers. We've caught them all on this stuff. And they're not, you hear this stuff with some of these flies, you got too much flash, but they don't work with it. These things, flash don't bother fish as far as I'm concerned. So, more flash the better. But just take, I gotta put my glasses on. How do I tie this thing on my glasses?
Cutting your flash in half.
I just get a clump of it, whatever you got, and it looks like mess, right? Take it and pull it over your thread like that on a bobbin.
About at the middle?
And about the middle, yeah. And then bring it up and pull it down tight right in front of where your thread dam was.
I missed that move, Jim. What'd you do with the thread and the flash?
I took the flash and put it around the bobbin this way, and then hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
I took the flash, I got the end about the middle, and I pulled it around the thread like that,
Oh, okay.
and then I brought it up and cinched it down on top, okay? So look, it's going everywhere, okay?
So how many, you have two?
I've got 2 or 3 on there. 2's probably fine for doing this.
I gotta come back now.
And it'll be in lots of places. I mean, ideally, it should be on both sides, but I mean, when you do this next step, it's gonna,
Go where it's gonna go.
you see like this one? See, it's everywhere?
Yeah.
But when it gets in the water, it's
Beautiful.
it's beautiful.
It's a neat trick.
Pull it back.
If we fix to push it back with this next bunch.
Leave it real long for the time being.
Yeah, you can leave it alone. Because we put this next piece on here, it's gonna push it. Okay? Now, next thing we have is the chartreuse clump. And guess what we're gonna do? Same thing we've done with the other ones. Okay?
Whole clump.
A whole clump.
Oh, shoot.
Yes, sir.
That's why you gotta be real.
When you put it up here, do the same thing, couple loose wraps, and try to kind of, when you put thumb pressure on top of this thing, you can about roll it all the way around the hook. If not, the other option is you can try to shove it over the top and wrap it so you got it all the way around. But
It's reversed too?
yes, sir.
Seems like we should be taking out some of that under for,
That's totally up to you, Mr. Gilroy.
I'm just.
No, he ties it
Like
with,
it's a
he,
big old clump.
yeah, but you'll see the effect of it.
Yeah,
You know, it keeps it bigger and keeps it
yeah. big-
doing this. Yeah. But Bill cuts a lot of it out of there.
Yeah, I like that.
He does. It makes it slimmer. Man, you know, the actual thing the guy ties, he don't take any of it out. Except for the tail.
Yeah, he says leave it all.
He leaves all of it.
Once wet.
When it's wet, it's a completely different fly.
Yeah. How
Okay.
heavy is it once it's?
So reverse the last clump, pull it back, and then build your thread dam in front of it. And all that's left to do is whip finish it. And it looks like stuff sticking everywhere in front. They'll whip finish it by hand, so let's do the darn tool.
This thing looks like it ought to have
A little air into it that way. There you go.
a weed guard or something like that on it.
I lose so many, I mean, it wouldn't done me any good.
Just catch the weeds even better.
Yeah. Everybody good?
Mine's having a pet hair day.
There you go.
Ah,
You don't have it all the way around, Carlton?
You ready to whip?
Have it.
I don't know. What do you mean all the way around?
Y'all excuse me a second.
Mine's having a big one here.
And that is a bad hair day.
And then do,
I don't know if y'all heard Mr. Gilroy ask if we could cut all that excess stuff off. That's an option.
What excess stuff?
Well, he was talking about how I left that big clump of junk in there.
Under fur.
Under fur, I left it in there. Hook sharp on Chris.
look sharp.
Hey, Chris, I think you can take some of that flash off.
Well, you told me that I could.
I'm looking at how much you
So I
got
did.
right there.
Bill was generous to give me a flash.
Well, see, you know. But see how when we pushed that last clump, it pushed all this stuff back up here? You good, Peter? My phone's been ringing.
they catch one on those other boats.
Get mine.
Anybody have any questions, or everybody caught up with them?
What happens if we take this on?
Yeah, Jim,
Yes, sir.
what sizes do you use? What size hooks?
This one we're using as a
Number two.
Number two.
3407.
3407. It's saltwater. I use a B10S.
3407, that's a,
I use a B10 for everything. I use
Do
size.
you always use size 2 or?
I've tied them in 4s, but it can't go really, yeah, I haven't gone any smaller than a 4 because this craft fur just doesn't seem to want to function on anything smaller than that.
Okay.
But, you know, most commonly, because I use 2s,
Okay. And that's got everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I use 4s all the time, Peter, so it's like, so it's kind of agnostic, it doesn't really matter.
yeah.
I mean, I've caught 6-pound fish on a number 4, so it's just kind of whatever you got and whatever works, kind of.
And you say, don't trim the.
Yeah, you can trim that crystal flash back to the tail now when you got, I didn't want you to have to trim it when you put it on there.
And do you ever weight it at all? Do you ever weight it?
I never have. Now, when I fish it, I'm fishing with a weighted line most of the time when I use it. Not always, a sink tip, but that's because I fish in streams where it's got to get down quick because I have it back to the boat before I get it far. But I fished it on top water, running across top of the water on a floating line, and it has an effect there. Like, they'll hit it on top.
And Peter, you can
Really?
you can just let it sit. If you let it sit
It'll
about
sink.
5 seconds, it'll sink.
It'll sink.
It'll sink, 16, 18 inches.
Yeah, it's slow sink when that crab fur gets on there. I mean, there's no reason you couldn't weight it, Peter. I mean,
Does the craft
No, it's
hold up? Oh, yeah.
yeah, and
And
sir,
chartreuse and white's the only way to go?
that's what I use, basically. I've tied them in pink and chartreuse. I've tied them in, where'd my gray one go?
Blue and white.
Blue and white, and olive and white. The other thing is, if you fish it a lot, you need a cone. Because after you catch a couple fish on it, it gets all mad, you can really comb it back out to where it's not a big wad. Especially on pickerel, because they'll do it. That's another.
Well, this one, these little brill creams start off.
Go back there to the water fountain and pour it and run water over the top of it.
Cool, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good idea.
Go, and if you want to see how it really looks, go back to the water fountain and run water over the top of it and bring it down. Oh yeah, it's great. And it's not that hard to tie. When I first started, I would try to make bicolored, and that doesn't work, trying to reverse that fur. That crab fur. What you got, Mike?
You ever tie them smaller?
4s as far as we went.
Really? Okay.
It's just that crab fur is so hard to get down to smaller sizes after 4. On a 6 it's just, I've tried it, but didn't really have any luck with it. I guess you could do a 6 and put a tail piece and a front piece backwards and it'd be good. Hey, Chris, bring it up here. Brill cream. He went back and stuck it in the water fountain. Let's see.
It was $20, you want it? I like the color too.
See the difference when it's wet?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that crystal flash pulsates in the water. And it'll I'm looking at Joe and Tar here. It kind of does that too. This whole fly does. You pull it.
So it looks like a sheep's hair mullet.
But it'll dry out. When it dries out, it'll fluff back up. Or you go home and get your wife's hair dryer and dry them.
Fly fisherman spinner ring.
Oh, yeah, I got them in my.
Probably put a few.
Y'all got any questions? Did you get it done, Flip? Hey, I heard Jim Cantori's in town in Lafayette, so you better get a load. Did you hear? Oh, are you
We
muted?
ran him out.
Huh? I said,
Back to New Orleans.
oh, did he leave and go to New Orleans? Good. He needs to go to Mississippi. No, Jeff said he don't need to go to Mississippi.
He needs to go south.
He needs to go anywhere but the beach.
Right now.
He needs to go to Florida.
Hard left.
Yeah.
It's a soft, I'm talking about a soft.
Y'all got any questions? Hey, Bill, see if he wants to cut this
Hey,
recording.
Hey, Jim?
Yeah?
Jim, you put any more flash in there that you always just use crystal flash, that's Smith?
I've used a little bit of everything, honestly. I use whatever I got on the table sometime. A lot of times these white ones, I got some black colored flash, I'll put put it on there, try to get to make a stripe out of it. And I put flash from in every clump on some of them I've tied. I just didn't do that tonight.
Okay.
So that's an option.
Yeah.
Does that need a banner?
No.
Somebody knows about it.
Awesome fly, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. That's about all I fish with anymore for bass and stuff.
That is awesome.
Yeah, if you go put it under a water faucet and look at it, it changes the look of it.
It's basically one way to.
We're only time,
Yeah, hold on. You gonna cut the recording? You still recording?
Yes.
All right, I think they all have it done.